Okay, and last thing I wanted to do today, since we've done 2 quick-ish edits, well, I guess one was 3, but it was all pre-drawn things, so... which, by the way, for those who missed it, we've also worked on the second, or the fourth part of the fractal series, which are bacteria growing into fractal patterns. So that's what we've done. We've done a microscope view and a external view of the patterns they grow in macroscopically. So yeah, that was a fun one as well. And finally, I'll explain this little story again. So, have you guys ever played Half-Life, the games? Both of them. So the writer for these games, the sole writer, is a guy called Mark Laidlaw. Very cool guy. He left Valve and gaming a while ago. And you might have seen, because he posted what his outline of the story of Half-Life 3 would have been. He posted it publicly, just changed the names for things, but it was very obviously Half-Life 3. And so he basically spoiled the game that never was. But yeah, he's a very fun guy, a good writer, and he wrote this story, and we are Twitter mutual, so we've been talk about a bit, and he's written this story about a retoucher, or a guy that at least knows a bit of Photoshop, goes into a vacation, right, and his foot gets injured. He's in a vacation home in Hawaii, bored as hell, his family is all out, he can't leave the house. So he takes out Photoshop and he takes the pictures that are in his rental home, the family pictures, and starts adding creepy things to them, just reprinting them and putting them back in their places. So just a little practical joke, and then the story kind of continues, and I'm not gonna spoil it, but it's very fun. I'm gonna pull up a link for you guys. You guys want to take a look at it later, or right now? Because this has to do with that. So Mark commissioned me to do one of the pictures, to imagine one of the pictures in the story. So we found a very normal picture of people just going to the beach, and what we want to do... Can't find this. How far below is it? Oh, there it is. So, posting it in chat. So, according to the descriptions he did in of what he retouched in the pictures and some other things I thought of, I wanted to recreate what one of these images could have looked like. So we found this picture of a family just enjoying the beach, and I don't know what time it is, but you know, old equipment, old looking picture. We had to do a bit of sharpening and reducing JPEG filters, which, I mean, they kind of work, not in some areas, but you know, they do reduce a lot of those color things, which is one of the new Photoshop filters that use AI. So that's pretty nice. I'm just gonna copy this layer. I'm gonna turn it into a regular layer. And here's some of the things I wanna... Sorry, Slav, you ready? Yeah, it's very good. It's a very fun concept. So I wanna do some of the things that appeared in the story and some of my own. And they gotta be sort of subtle. I'm gonna make... So here's how I'm thinking I'm gonna make them. I'm gonna make some that are kind of subtle, and you just see if you're looking around for a bit. And I want to make some that are more obvious to kind of pull your eyes in and see like this picture has something wrong with it, you know? So you start looking at things, and then you notice the subtler ones. That's the idea. I've drawn just with my terrible sketching, I've drawn a few of the things I want to do. So I think let's just go one by one and just add things. The first thing I want to do, which is one of the things that was described in the story. I actually, look at that. I sketched that one in, so that one is going in. First thing I want to do is remove this poor baby's mouth. And oh, I'm in current layer. Hold on, current and below. There we go. So I just want to clone it out. Hold on. I'll do that maybe with a patch tool first, which will probably do a good chunk of the work for us. And right here. Dude, we are on the same wavelength, you and I. I'll remove some of the lower lip. Merge this. What? Oh, the mixer brush. Oh yeah, that could have worked as well. Smooth out this extra bits. I think it's subtle enough. Or the no, not here. Healing brush would have worked well as well. I should have done that one first. It's good at making smooth textures like that. Anyway, that's just a little thing. Mosquitoes haunting me again. Let's do the finger now. So the idea, and of course we don't get too high quality when we come down here. We even got some artifacts from the Photoshop filter. That's fine. It's meant to be a low quality image, like just probably shitty camera quality. So we're probably good. Okay, where should we add the finger? Maybe to the. So we either copy a finger like this and put it in the back, or we copy a finger here and put it right in front. Obviously I gotta give it a bit of something different so it doesn't look too much like I copy pasted the other finger. Hey Kala! You were streaming. Guys, check out Kala's channel. He's doing very similar things to what I do, but he uses Blender and does a lot of 3D work to create creatures and stuff like that, and he then adds into Photoshop. It is very cool. Check out, I'm gonna put a link to Kala's channel. Hey Kala! ¿Cómo estamos? Go follow. It is an order. You are contractually required to follow, yeah. Okay, so we added a finger there and a finger there. Which one should we keep? Or should we keep both? You ended the template, man? Nice. Can we see it? Can we get a sneak peek just for us? We can post it to the Discord or somewhere we can pull it up. Okay, I kind of like both fingers. I think I'll add them both. So it's extra noticeable that it has a very long hand. Oh, also, did I tell you guys? I still haven't started with it, but it might be for next stream. I have gotten another SCP commission, which makes 3 edits that I'm going to have in 3 different SCP-6000 submissions. For those that don't know, SCP, which is a collaborative horror wiki. The entries go in numbers, and every time there's a big number, they do a contest for it. So 3 different people, 3 different writers have asked me to do an edit for them, which is very funny at this point. Because whatever wins, I'll probably have my picture in the SCP-6000 article. Okay, so we did the fingers, we did the mouth. Okay, I was also thinking of doing an arm, a hand that doesn't have an arm around his shoulder. You know, this kind of thing you notice, like they forgot to cut that in a stock photo when they cut a person out and it looks weird. That kind of thing. Okay, let's try to get a hand. Maybe we can use this one again. So I'm gonna flip that. I'm gonna make that less opaque. Gonna put it over the shoulder. And then let's just make a quick selection. Okay, the lighting is gonna be the difference. Because the lighting is coming from here. But I think it sort of works. I'll do a little bit of adjustment to the lighting, but it'll be fairly fine. Hola, Cardenal. How are you doing? Today's the day of the Spanish speakers in chat, which is great. You guys are the best. Don't tell the English speakers, but Spanish is the best language. Like, I don't know many language, but between Spanish and English, I think there's no contest. I'm sorry, English. you lose this one. This doesn't really fit the shoulder. Maybe like that, give it a little bit of turn. Centroamérica. Here in Spain. Very late, but you know, I like to stream at weird times. What about Germany? I think from Germany that I know of, like people who come in regularly and stuff, it's you and Hitzel. I don't know if I'm missing anyone. You know, Sirit, like me, is a very late person. And Kala, who's also from Spain. So this is the stream for the late Europeans as well. Which, you know, it's great. I identify as both, as a Spanish speaker and late European, so... Mi Españita! Montanans, it's just you. In the whole state of Montana. You could tell me that and I'll tell you, yeah, sure, I don't know enough about Montana. You could tell me there's just me living there. And I'd be like, okay. I will trust you. Okay, we're gonna remove the ring. Because he already has it in his other hand. Very long hand. Nice. It's come to a point where this playlist I use for streaming, which is, let me check again, 47 hours long. I know all the songs, like, by heart. I don't know how many hours of this playlist I must have listened to. But it's crazy at this point. There's no song I haven't listened to multiple times. In Montana, you can buy guns at a Walmart? That must be the most American thing I've heard in the whole day. Oh god. Buying a gun at Walmart. That's something. Is it only Montana, or are there other states where you can do that? Like, probably the only knowledge of Montana I have is Hannah Montana. I don't know even if she's from there. Just know it's a thing. I am at that level. There are no gun Walmarts, but California is like a more liberal state, right? You libs. I'm kidding. I feel like I've seen guns in Walmart once. Not for a while. You need to do a background check. I mean, I hope so. I hope they'll sell them to kids. That would be messed up. Try to match the lighting here. We looked at guns and then saw the Emoji Movie in theaters. Oh god. Still, I'm something. One of the things I'm too European to understand. But American guns is so weird to me. I like the zealousness to defend their guns. Like, have you seen that in most places in the world? It's super hard to get a gun and there's barely any shootings. I don't know. It's weird to me. How is that for subtleness with the hand going around? It's one of those things where you can hopefully you see it and you don't even think twice because you think it's just a dad's arm going around him, but then you notice that the the hand is there. Come to Montana, we have mountains, guns, cars, the woods, meth, reservations, and undocumented creatures. I mean, I'm there for the last one. And from the reservations, I'd love to visit one. Toasted template, man. Okay, let me see it. Art dungeon. Oh, it's a lot of art today. I love him. Hold on. Oh. Browser mode. Here's Kala's template man. I hate that. I mean, I love but hate the hands with just one thumb. And the little hair is a very nice touch. So you added a bunch of artifacts around, right? Are those done after the fact? Did you just save it as a locally JPEG or something to get the artifacts? Nail hands. Hey bastard, so we are illustrating a little picture for a story written by Mark Laidlaw. Mark Laidlaw of Half-Life 1 and 2 fame. He's a writer for those games. And he wrote this story about a guy that's going on vacation and he breaks his foot and he's kind of stuck at the rental home they have while his whole family is away. So he starts taking pictures from the rental home that are in the, like, family pictures that are in the wall, puts them in Photoshop and edits them, prints them out, and puts them back up in their little stands. So he edits them to add like creepy little details that they would take a little while to notice, but all of them have something hidden in them. And that's what we're doing. So we're replicating that. I sent a link a little bit further up in chat. I'm gonna send it again if you want to read the story now or later. I'm just, this is like the first part of the story, by the way. Then it escalates from that. So I'm not gonna spoil that. Just added the models and textures and done. But the little artifacts, yeah, like on this kind of I don't know if they have a name. Yeah, there's this green and pink artifacts that are all over. I mean, they're nice. I don't mean that in a it's an error way. It's one of the things that helps tide everything over. And you know I love me some artifacts. They give texture. Add some noise and photo aberrations. We had to use oil on your typewriter for the keys. No, but mine was in such good quality. I mean, it's from the 60s, but it was used for about 20 years. And then kept in a corner in my grandpa's house. Unused for so many years, but I took it out and it was perfect, and it even had some leftover ink in the roll, like still could barely write with it. Obviously I got a new roll of ink, but so I didn't have to. So sorry, I can't help you with that. So next thing we're doing, we're fusing these fingers together, just for fun. Another creepy little thing. But now we've worked a lot with hands, I guess. But I guess they're easy to work with and add creepy details too. Hands and faces are the obvious go-to, but we'll also add some stuff to the background, make it a bit more interesting. A little dinged up. Then I'm afraid I can't help you much. I didn't have to do any maintenance on mine, thankfully. I should have keep forgetting to use the filling brush. Would obviously be better. I don't go too hard on it though. I think that's that with the fused fingers. It's not much more to do. Just a little touch. So again, all these elements I'm adding are part of the story, or part of the things that within the story he describes it as adding, or things that are in the same sort of vibe, you know. So it describes removing someone's mouth, or the joints between the fingers, or things like that. So for example, adding an extra finger, it didn't describe, but it feels like something that would also be in that ballpark. But now all those things are pretty subtle, like you wouldn't notice them at first, I think. I don't know about this end, it's maybe a bit weird. I'm unsure. Okay. Next, like body modifications. I want to maybe remove somebody's eyes, and this kid was probably the easiest one for that. But there's not really a lot to remove. It's just kind of smoothing it over, like the hands, you know? Just leave like the general shape, but kind of smoothed out. Very small thing. So let's see. I'm gonna start removing things as I put them. That way we see what we've done, what we haven't. Okay, in terms of body mods, I'll maybe expand her smile. So I'm gonna create a new layer and copy whatever we have with the smile over. And then sort of play around with that, modify its creepy, I like it. And another row. How about that? It's a bit weird, but it's all enough that. What a beautiful smile. I think it can do the trick. So, oh, I forgot to disable this. It's making everything much brighter. Didn't remember. This is some soft light. What? I accidentally added text. That startled me. Creepy white smile. And let's see, now for background stuff. And for background stuff we can do a bunch of things, technically. So, one of the things I wanted to do is... This one is described in the story. This sort of vortex of sand that kind of crawls up the legs. So that one I definitely wanted to do. I don't know exactly how I'll do it. Let's see, filter... liquefy, maybe? I can... There we go. Having a hard time today with this... with the windows for some reason. Let's hope it's gone when I update, when I turn off and on. Come on. something like liquefy, it might look a bit weird, but if we help that out with a little bit of editing later, it might do the trick, you know? Oh, forget that I can't do this in the liquefy menu. The liquefy menu is weird. It works in strange ways. I hate it. Obviously we got the shadow and the food and stuff. I'm doing this in a new layer, so I can bring this and just mask those parts out. I just want the sand to look liquefied and wavy and weird. Sand swirl, yeah, that's the idea. Let's reconstruct with this area. Make the swirl a little bit. Like that. Okay. Now I mask the food out, I mask the shadows out, obviously the real leg. So a bit of a sand swirl, I still don't love it, but with some added textures on it. Yeah, getting some of the sand texture, filling in some of the uglier parts. It's sort of leaving the outline of it. And then maybe go into soft lights. And painting some lines, maybe some smaller ones. Have light and shadow on the swirls to kind of give them some volume. Again, the light is coming from here, from the left. And from towards us, so from our direction a little bit. You consider like this, right? We gotta light things up in that way. So gotta get some textures here. There we go. Okay, I think that can sort of work as a sand swirl. Keep going with the shadows, make them a bit more dramatic, maybe. Give the impression that it's rising up the ground a bit. And we can't go too far from the from the values we already have, you know? So obviously the shadow's gotta look way more blue, like this one's. We get another soft light layer. To exaggerate those a little bit, since we kind of reached the limit with the first one. Oh, erasing. There we go. Okay, a bit more texture there. Alright. Then we're doing a color layer. And we're getting this blue. And coloring the shadow in a little bit. So the shadow is hopefully not super orange. And then for the lights, I want to color it like that. So it's not like super white either. Okay, next thing I want to do is kind of get the sand swirl to swirl up into her, like up her foot like that. So I'm thinking maybe we can get some sand textures here. Not the best sand textures, but I can maybe do a base for what we need. Try to set limits. Set like a general shape. Which should be a bit easier to work with than just from scratch. Okay. Now we're clipping a layer on top. Maybe getting some of those swirly textures. Turning them around, kind of continuing the swirl in that way. Normal here. Sand death. It is kind of like that. That's a bit better. Okay, so I'm trying to fit those shapes together as best as possible. Get very small brushes and just continue the shapes manually a bit too. Hopefully should help. Maybe fade things in a little. Guys, what do you think if after this, which should be done, I mean it's not a very long thing, so it shouldn't take too long to be done. How about after it we go back to the terrible Instagram account that stole my art and try to get a few more artists notified that their art has been stolen, so hopefully I can take it down and we can take down that account together. Just destroy them together. How would you feel about that? Oh, Kala, you missed that? Oops. Okay. I will give you a primer. Hold on for a sec. Yeah, I mean, sort of. It didn't I mean, it wasn't like an artist trying to say it was me. They were one of those terrible aggregator accounts. Shame them live on twitch.com. It's what should be done. Something like that. Let's see this color layer. Bring it on top, and there we go. Bring some blues into the shadows. Okay, so here's what happened. Let me show you the original tweet. Here's the guy. Okay. So somebody tagged me in an Instagram post, and I was lucky enough to be checking Instagram a few hours later, because I don't check it every day. And I saw this account. Horrifying Society. 5,000 likes, or 6,000 at the time of getting this. Later it got up to like 7,000 or 8,000 likes. And they literally just put like watermarks all over it. They didn't tag me anywhere, like nothing. Just like absolutely nothing. And they left it like that. I DM'd them, they didn't respond at all. So I was like, this is frustrating. I'm just gonna send it on Twitter and let all my followers out. And we basically turned this, it had like 40 comments. It got up to 110 comments or something like that, or more. Last time I checked it was 110. Of people just shaming them and telling and giving credit to me. It was very funny. Eventually, I contacted Instagram and filed a copyright DMCA or whatever, copyright takedown. And they didn't take long at all. They replied and they took down the post. So now you go to the page and let me reload, see if they reposted it. No, it's not reposted. It's not there at all. So they removed it. So the shaming was fun, and then Instagram went in and swiped it and smited it? Smited it from the earth. It was very funny. Yeah, 2 stupid watermarks. They didn't even capitalize River John. It's the name of the town, you dumbasses. Even John, like you. Well, whatever. I'm not gonna get into it, but. So we were checking out the accounts, and there's so much more stolen art. So we contacted at least the one that made this one and the one I showed before, and the one that made this one. We contacted them and linking them to the page where they can file the takedown. So I actually got a DM, which I'm gonna check here so I don't leak any information. Oh, the one who did this and the other one. I'll take action right away. Thank you for telling me. So, here we go. We got another one. He was actually someone with a lot of followers. I'm surprised that nobody notified him. That's pretty messed up. I'm also gonna send him the Mona Lisa one, because I also noticed they stole 2 from this guy, which is just brutal. I'm gonna send it to, what's the name of the guy? Danny. So we've been trying to tell people and hopefully get the page taken down if they get enough copyright notices. Danny and Gracia, that's the artist that made this one. I'll send him also this one. I hope with enough takedowns they can get banned. Okay. Hey, welcome back, Sar. So we were giving a review of what happened today with the Instagram account and how they took it down. Just very, very cathartic. So after we finish this, we'll try to swipe some more. I'll try to find some more and notify the artists. Which isn't too hard if you use TinEye. I'll look for it, you'll end up finding it. Which is maybe something that that dumbass account could have done, you know? Taking the time to look things up? What a novel idea. So, you know, while we're here and we're taking down one post from that account, let's try to, through collective action, hopefully get them banned from the earth. I mean, as much as you can, because at some point they pop up back up with another account and keep doing the same thing. But at least it will mess with them. Okay, how's the sand vortex looking like? You don't have an Instagram account? Good for you. Honestly. That's a good move. Do you stream these commissions on Twitch? Yeah. Actually, yeah. Sorry, I already responded. Depending. I mean, if the client wants it, then of course. I think it's always fun because you get to see the reactions live and get some live feedback. I don't know. I think it's interesting. Hey, Confuzzled. Welcome. We're adding creepy details to this picture. So we already did the sand vortex. I think it looks pretty decent. Now we want to add some more details to the background in the sand. And I'm going to hide a skull in there. So, let's try to find a quick skull. There should be more than enough for our needs. This looks perfect. The lighting is right. So, let me just pull it in here. Okay, let's try to make it skull sized. So, let's compare it to him, her, him. A bit bigger. That should do. Yeah, I only have Instagram to check it from time to time and post my things. Like, check my notifications. I don't check other people's things in Instagram. It is... I don't like it. I just don't like it. I think it's terrible to do any art on there, because they basically require you to give them all your time and be basically... think of them as a day job or something like that. It's ridiculous. I know this is a plastic skull, but that's fine. It'll do well. Yeah, that's a good selection. For once. Considering deleting my Instagram, because it's tied to Facebook. Yeah, that's a very good reason to do so. Want to ditch WhatsApp? Yeah, exactly the same for me. I think it's the same in Spain and Latin American countries. WhatsApp is dominating. There's no way of moving away to something different, unfortunately. Which sucks. I don't like WhatsApp. Like, I like the original concept of WhatsApp, and I think big props to the guy who first ran it before Facebook bought it, because he added the encryption that WhatsApp has without Facebook knowing it, just right before Facebook bought it. So Facebook bought it thinking they would have a non-encrypted thing where like Facebook Messenger, which is absolutely unsafe. Never use Facebook Messenger. So Facebook, they thought they just had bought like everyone's unencrypted messages, and the guy pulled the rug right before Facebook bought it and added the encryption, which is such a Chad move. I love that. I love that guy. Typical European family with nothing weird going on. Okay, so I want to sort of half bury it in the sand, at least until to the lower jaw and all that. So here's where we choose to until what point it's buried. Okay, artist. I'll see you again later. You have a good night. I think that's good. Okay, so I'm moving the levels. There we go. Okay, I want to bring it back to normal, and I want to add a gradient map, maybe. That would be nice. So what I want is for the blacks to be... Gosh, I hate this. There we go. So the black should be like the shadow, blue. And then the brightest colors should be like the sand. Just put that in color, and then we adjust. I'll just copy this. Remove it, please. I think it's too noticeable. It's bothering me a bit. Maybe I want to hide it a bit like that. Do something like this into the nose. Now we kind of adapt the shape in the sand to the ins and outs of the skull. Okay, and then I want to get a shadow. Yes, I'm just gonna paint with the clone stamp, as weird as that sounds. Yes, the idea is to kind of get the shadow for this, which would be probably something like that. With a bit more of a square or flat dome in there. Maybe go a bit into the edge like that. Okay, then let's get some color. And get some of those blues. Just directly, apart from the gradient map we already did. I get some blues in there. In the dome. The skull might be a bit too noticeable. How do you guys feel about it? We do need something that's not so subtle to kind of bring people's attention into it, but I think I might have gone a bit too unsubtle. Not sure. In case of doubt, I'll just send it to Mark and say, hey, if you want me to tone down the skull, I'll do it. Oh, of course it needs blurring. Yeah. That might be part of the thing too. Bit of feathering towards the inside. A bit more. I think if anything I need to make it lighter so it fuses into the background a bit more. That makes sense. Actually, the shadow shouldn't be as long because it's very close to the ground. I'll just cheat a little bit and make the shadow not as strong. Just cheating. I think it's specifically how strong and how dark the shadow is. That's pulling people, that's pulling my eyes in at least. Yeah, it's a bit more subtle now, isn't it? I think that's gonna be better. Also, it needs some artifacts to match the rest, so I'll pull them from... Kind of hard to pull artifacts from this picture, actually. I think I'll need to pull them from the shadow. So the idea is something I often do if the picture has some very specific artifacts, like see these little squares here. I need to imitate that somehow. So I'll just paste them on there and then try to find a good way to add them. Often soft light works. You need to bring it down very close to 50% gray. Like that. So okay, so that's fairly subtle, but it does add some artifacting, so it'd be a bit better. Okay, another thing I wanted to add to the background. We've already done most things here. Done the vortex, the skull. Obviously added a bunch of stuff to them, but those are the most subtle ones, I think. And yeah, it should work. I wanted to add maybe an eye or something to the background, just popping out of the ground. So it would be a thing of finding the right picture. Because obviously pictures of eyes will tend to be from the front. But I'd like something that's taken from an angle. Hold on. Hop into the browser. Look at these guys again. With this one, but we don't see the entire thing, so it doesn't really help us much. Let's see. Oh, I got a response from Danny, the guy who also got work stolen. He's saying, I counted more than 15 posts with my work. Damn! So I got one stolen, this guy got 15 at least. And also so works by artists I know. Oh, so stupid. These accounts really scum. These people. Well, I hope that's a whole account taken down. Yeah, I'm seeing more by him. A bunch more artists, of course. With huge sticks. I love that. Okay, this one perhaps? No, it's not really the right angle. It's just looking up. Quanta tiempo. Oh, maybe it can be an animal eye. That would be nice. Okay. This one maybe. I hate. How did they mess up the white balance so much? Well, let's try it on, but I don't know about the white balance there. What's up here? Let's see if we can quickly... Yo, please. There we go. Okay, that should help. Very thick eyelashes. I don't think I'll keep them, but... Just gonna see if it works. It's not amazing. It's gonna stop being readable as an eye, I think. There's not a lot of detail to read there. Maybe we can add something else popping out of the ground. What could be a fun thing to add? Popping out of the ground like that. Maybe a hand? Just reaching out? This side is cool. It's black and white though. Femur. Oh, I like that. It's the big bone. What's that? We got a whole ass foot there. Try to get. No more results. There's only 3. And this one is good. But we only get the very top. Like more. Tasty sand. Little teeth. It would be hard to see them at that size though. It's gotta be something a bit larger. Let's get. See, there's nothing. Not a lot we can find. I mean, we got like its tip of the femur, but maybe let's just do arm. Because we already done a bone thing. Might be a bit repeating ourselves. Let's do maybe a hand stretching out. I kind of like this one. Maybe if we make it the color of the sand, it would work. This we can close. What I don't like about this extension is it opens things in another document instead of putting it in the one you're in. But it's fine. It's pretty quick to find pictures, so I will not complain today. Yeah, gotta lose some hairs, but that's not gonna be visible at that size. And scrap the eyeball, that's good too. Okay, we need to smooth out that. Let's just do smooth here. Bit feathering. It's gonna be small anyway. We lost a bit of finger there. Maybe coming out at an angle like that. We're gonna do like the skull, and we'll put it in a group with another layer mask. Can add it like that. We can give it some levels, just brighten things up a little. To some limits at least. And then add some color. I'll just make it sand colored, like it's a sand hand. Sounds pretty cool actually. Sand hand. Okay. Adding a bit of lights. Just a bit of light of our own. The shadows more or less match. Actually, move things a bit further so the light direction matches better. And pretty good. Okay. Now we take a selection of this, we put it right below, and we fill it up with just black for now. Gonna remove that, and we're gonna do something that sort of fits the lighting. There we go. Which I will then blur a bit and fill up with this texture again. It's been pretty useful so far. Okay, I might add the same thing I did to the skull, which is this one. Which is a gradient map. Here. That didn't do much, if anything at all. Hold on. Properties. Oh shit. We do it over the color layer, not under it. You dummy. I'm gonna pick everything up, make it a little bit more reasonable in size. And let's see what else. just wants a friend. Okay, so I'm gonna pick the original layer all the way down. Gonna bring it back on top of this because I want to bring back this stain of whatever it is. These purple artifacts that are all around the area. We don't have too much of it covering the hand, but just enough that we do have to pay attention to it. I think in general, it's gonna make the levels of the whole thing a little bit lighter. Not that. Oh, we also need to blur this the hell up. Also feather the selection, bring it a bit closer. Still got a wonky edge, hold on. Yeah, shift it in. There we go. And we'll do the same thing we did to the skull. Do that, there we go. Add some artifacts on it. I know that moving the artifacts like I'm doing right now, it's not the best, but you know. Doesn't add too much. But I hope it helps. Okay, the hand's shadow should be blurrier, I think. Okay, we pick everything up. Move it around a little bit. Actually, it might be better here. In the lighter sand, I feel like it pops up more. Okay, let's see properties here. Try to bring that back a little. I think it's getting there. I hope it is. Now it's much subtler, which I think is in our benefit. Gonna feather this. It's better. I'm gonna add a layer mask to this to tune it a bit. Okay, now it's definitely one of those kinds of things where you have to pay attention to notice. Something else we should add. You guys have any other ideas, little things we can change about the characters or about the background to kind of add more eeriness to it? Maybe some other body mods, like a second ear. No, that's too much. I don't like that one. What could this be? Could we add anything to it? I just don't know what it is. I think it's a camera, maybe? Like with the waterproof package around it, or... Like this one? I think that would be repeating the same thing a bit too much. Maybe. Oh, what if we... just remove this guy's nose. Or anyone's nose. This guy hasn't had any very strong body mods. We can kind of tape the ear shut. Ooh, that's kind of... Ooh, I hate it. I like that. I mean, I hate it in a good way. Oh, that's creepy. Fuse ear. How about that? I'll fuse the ear for them. Yeah, I think that's that in terms of details. I'll let Mark know, and hopefully, I don't know if he has any more ideas. If he's happy with this amount, I can see that. Hey JJ, hope you're doing well. We kind of overexpose it a bit, since that's the typical thing with beach pictures. You streamed for 5 hours. I have. You missed the notification. That's fine. Been working on 2 edits for my main series, so one for the fractal series and one for the bug series. And now we're doing a little commission for Mark Laidlaw, who's a writer of little known games such as Half-Life or Half-Life 2. You know, might have heard of him. And this for a short story he wrote. Oh, I'm so sorry to hear that, mate. Well, I hope it's gonna bring you a little distraction from that at least. Never heard of those games. Okay, should we go for that washed out old picture tone? Of course we should. We can go for the pink or for the green tints. It's the classical ones that you'll see in old pictures like that. Oh, I'm glad to hear that, mate. So I'm bringing in a little bit of that pink or kind of magenta, purplish shadows that we used to get in the pictures as they were printed. I added some grain to try to hide a lot of the JPEG artifacts. I think it works. Let's look out some. Might go slightly larger on the grain, perhaps. I think I'll go larger, but less. Use the roughness. Go a bit less. I think that'll hide all the JPEG artifacts. That'll also help integrate some things. I'm still not sure about the hand, though. That should be a bit better. Okay, Kala. You have a good night. Mutating this poor family. I think we're done with the family, actually. We'll move on to trying to take down this terrible Instagram account. Are we still on? As you can see, we are indeed. Hello, Insurgent. So I think we're just about done mutating this family.